Chapter 201 Another world. And intend to enter Yu and sign in. It is also because of the secret reason why Guiwusan's whereabouts are hidden. I decided to work with Ghost Kill Team first. They lead the ghost dance. Then in the final battle, as in the original work, follow the pillar of Ghost Kill Team. Enter, sign in, together in Infinite City. It's really exciting. 203. The horns of the night feather swept into a curve. Murmur. If you can obtain the nearly eternal lifespan of Guiwusan, then you will really make a lot of money this time. Just as Yu picked up the teacup and prepared to drink it, the system prompt sound that was silent for a while. But unexpectedly it rang again. Only, this time it was not a reminder of sign in. Ding! It was detected that the host successfully completed the sign in Demon Slayer world, and the external barrier will automatically disappear in 3 months, and the two worlds will be freely connected. Before this, only the host could freely pass through the enchantment and pass through the two worlds. There is currently 90 days, 15 hours, 24 minutes and 16 seconds away from the exterior enchantment disappears. It's true. Yiyu's face showed a look of pride. It seems that only by entering the invading different world to complete sign in only system will actively prompt the time when enchant disappears. But that happens. It seems to be more conducive to Yiyu's advanced layout. And if Yiyu's guess is correct, open black lens bracket Demon Slayer world close black lens bracket is likely. Not the only other world that has arrived in Pirate World. I have to say, Yiyu's guess is very accurate. Because in the Pirate World at this moment, Barrett, Whitebeard and others had already gathered at the outer periphery of the island where Yiyu disappeared. Lord Yiyu has entered the enchantment. For a whole day he will not be in any trouble, right? The Empress stood in front of the enchantment with an anxious face. Constantly release his sense and domineering spirit. Want to find out what's going on inside. But the result is conceivable. Sister Hankook, don't worry. Orbia took the Empress's hand. Warmly comforted. With the strength of my husband, even if he encounters a powerful enemy as long as he wants, he can definitely leave calmly. Since Yiyu is not there during the period 0. Everything in the Dragon Empire. It was handed over to the Queen Tianyushi. So, the moon that cannot escape. Orbia, who is the second princess, was specially assigned to represent herself. Come outside the enchantment. Waiting for Yiyu's safe return. And as the fourth princess. Then he followed in the name of protecting Orbia's safety. Yes, Lord Orbia is right. Brother Yiyu's strength, not everyone can stop him. 3.9. Barrett laughed. He was not worried about Yiyu's safety. On the contrary, the news that Kizaru just came from East Sea. It made him feel even more worried. Because Kizaru was discovered in East Sea. Enchantment island, larger than the island in front of everyone. Chapter 202 Hawkeye has joined too. Gulalalala. The white beard also laughed loudly. That's right, even if we all add up now, we can't beat the captain. It's just this enchantment island that suddenly appeared out of thin air is a bit too weird. Well, that's true. Barrett's face gradually became solemn. He slowly spoke and informed everyone of the news that Kizaru came from East Sea. After Brother Yiyu ordered a thorough search, are there any other islands in the major seas that appeared out of thin air? At present, Porisolino has taken the lead in sending news from East Sea. He said that there was also appearing, just like the island in front of us, all surrounded by white fog enchantment. But the area of that island is much larger than this one. It is not an exaggeration to even call it land. It seems that this time, Brother Yiyu may have really been criticized. These enchantments islands should not appear for no reason. But at the moment, I'm afraid that except Brother Yiyu, others will not be able to enter these unknown enchantment inside. Swa can only be done when Brother Yiyu finds out the situation inside, and then make a conclusion after coming out. Barrett's words. The originally optimistic people suddenly became silent. In the sea with weak combat power in the East China Sea. It actually appeared on an island that was even larger than before them. If Yu hadn't given any instructions in advance. I'm afraid they are still completely ignorant. If enchantment suddenly opens on one day, it will inevitably cause great chaos and panic. If only one Porosalino is guarding there. The Whitebeard frowned and said, I'm afraid it's not safe, right? It's not that the Whitebeard looked down upon Kizaru's combat power. But I'm worried about such a huge area. If something happens, something unexpected happens. Kizaru is probably alone. I can't handle it at all. Don't worry about this. Barrett said. Madam, she has sent Hawkeye and Tesoro to the scene. Barrett's mouth, Hawkeye. It is Jorakel Mahawk, one of the former, the King's 7 warriors seized the world's #1 swordsman. He was half a year after the end of the war on the top. He consciously abandoned the title of world's #1, the Sword Master. He took the initiative to join Yu's command. Become one of the Dragon Empire and 12 divine generals. As for the reason, nothing else. Just because he was in the Super War. I saw the sword Yu waved. From then on, Hawkeye knew the huge gap between him and Yu. In order to catch up with this man's footsteps in Jondao, Hawkeye resolutely chose to join. After all, if you can't beat it, just join. Chapter 203 Zoro is also joining. But something unexpected is joined with Hawkeye. There is actually his personal disciple Roronoa Zoro. That's right. He is the former deputy captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. Luffy's good partner. Inspirational, want to surpass Hawkeye. The young man who became the world's #1, the swordsman. Only. After Luffy was killed by 5 old stars. The members of the Straw Hat Pirates who were so sad desire. They chose to disband. After all, the Dragon Empire established by Yu. Whether it is a policy that benefits the people, it's still the combat power of his subordinates. They are many times stronger than the previous world and the navy. And with the peoples living and working in peace and contentment, there is no oppression and exploitation. People's disgust and rejection of pirates are becoming increasingly serious. Even those civilians who originally lived at the bottom. Nowadays, when attacked by pirates, he dared to fight back. Because they know it in their hearts. Their great emperor. We will never indulge these bed bugs. So, pirates are a dangerous business. It was also followed by the strong crushing of the Dragon Empire. It disappeared quickly. But Roronoa Zoro's dream of the world's #1, the swordsman, still exists. After hearing that his master Hawkeye is preparing to join the Dragon Empire, he also resolutely chose to join with his master. Only. Now Yu is full of talents. A ordinary swordsman like Roronoa Zoro. It does not attract his attention. Even Trafalgar Rose strength. They are many times better than Roronoa Zoro. Besides, Yu also doubted Roronoa Zoro's loyalty. Naturally, it is impossible to reuse it for him. Hear Barrett say this. Orbia and Whitebeard et al. Then I felt relieved. And now, they can only be outside this enchantment. I am quietly waiting for Yu's return. Demon Slayer World. Demon Killing Team Headquarters. Oh tilde hey, wake up. What about you? Hello, you kid. When will you sleep until? Why don't you wake me up quickly? Accompanied by a wave of unhappy urging. The exhausted Tanjiro Kawaman opened his eyes again. But he was shocked to find out. At this moment, he was already in an extremely gorgeous courtyard. And before his eyes, there were also several majestic figures with strong auras. Good, 2 of them. It is the handsome brother of the same school, Shueiju Tomuka Yoshioka, who is familiar with him. And the insect pillar butterfly ninja, who had only met him last night. The remaining 7 people don't know their names. But from that gorgeous costume. As for the powerful aura emitted from each body. These people. It should be the highest level swordsman of the ghost-killing team. A strong man with the code name Pillar Dragon. Chapter 204 The 9-Pillar Trial. What? Sound Pillar Yuxi Tianyuan, wearing gorgeous clothes, said with a look of interest. I originally heard that there was a member of the Ghost Slayer with Ghost. I thought I was a very gorgeous person. I didn't expect that he was such a cheesy guy. Open black lens bracket Yenju close black lens bracket Purgatory Apricot Saruo said in his passionate voice. So that's it seems that we will be trying this teenager next, right? With a pair of 203 light green beautiful eyes love column Ganlu Temple honey glass. At this time, he murmured to himself with a touching look on his face. I've always protected my sister who has become a ghost. What a precious brother-sister relationship, it's really grotesque. Among the 9 pillars. I'm afraid that except Temuka Yoshioka doesn't want to see Tanjiro's brother and sister being killed. Only her. Maintain an extremely neutral view. Hyuho are they? Tanjiro Kaoru suddenly looked confused, AEDJB. But raised your head. But he was suddenly pressed on the ground by the member of the hidden beside him. And shouted at him loudly. Can you stop stuttering at this time, idiot? Do you know who they are? The 9 pillar masters in front of you who surpassed all the strongest existences in the ghost-killing team. Open black lens bracket column close black lens bracket. Since I just joined the ghost-killing team for less than a month. So at this time, Tanjiro. There is no clear concept for the highest combat power pillar. Just a trance feeling. These strong men in front of you. It should be all the same as Temuka Yoshio. But where I am now. Tanjiro Zaoman did not nod at all. It seemed like he could see the doubt in his eyes. The butterfly ninja on the opposite side slowly stepped forward and said. This is the headquarters of Ghost Killing Team. The reason why we gather here is to judge you next. Tanjiro Zaoman, let's explain the crime you committed before the trial officially begins. No need for trial. Butterfly Ninja hasn't finished speaking yet. He was interrupted by the Purgatory Apricot Saruo beside him. The behavior of protecting ghosts has obviously violated the team rules, and we can handle it alone. Behead him and the ghost. Then let me chop off his head gorgeously. Yuxi Tianyuan said proudly. I want their blood to splash everywhere gorgeously. That's right, it's just more gorgeous than anyone else. Well. Millie of Ganlu Temple said shyly. Do you really want to kill such a cute boy? I feel so sorry I can't bear it. I'm really a poor child, so pitiful. Among the 9 pillars Iwazu the name of the strongest and the hand of Xingming clasped together. He said in tears. Born in this world it's really pitiful. Chapter 205 Violating Team Rules. You where is Nezuko? Tanjiro Kaoru took a long time to wait. Only then did he come back to his senses from the shock. He quickly looked around and found his sister. If Nezuko was killed by these guys in front of her, that would be broken. Thinking of this, Tanjiro Zaoman became even more panicked. Nezuko, where are you Tilda? Nezuko Zoe Inosuke. However, I looked around. Tanjiro Zaoman did not find anyone who was familiar with him. The panic in my heart became even stronger. Compared to dealing with this waste, I heard that there was a swordsman of unknown origin who saved several of them while killing the 12 ghost moons. Snake Pillar Yihei Shaoban, who had been lying on the tree, suddenly spoke. And shouldn't we discuss how to deal with Tomooka first? I felt so angry when I saw that he wasn't tied up. According to Butterfly, Temuka seems to have known for a long time that this kid is protecting his sister who has become a ghost. But he still allows him to become a member of the ghost-killing team. Such actions should also violate the team rules. How to deal with him? What kind of responsibility should he bear? How about doing him? Why don't you talk, Tomooka? Everyone heard the words. Suddenly, they all turned their eyes to Temuka Yoshiaki standing alone in the distance. And Tanjiro, who was pressed on the ground. I also thought it was not good in my heart. Oh no, it's all my fault. I've also implicated Mr. Temuka. Yihei, you are still so snake-like and like to be entangled. Millie of Ganlu Temple turned around and said. But I'm very interested in the swordsman of unknown origin you just mentioned. I don't know if he is handsome. If he is handsome, I don't know if he will agree if I ask him to be my husband. However, I hate Xiaoban's questioning. Yoshiyuki Tomuka opposite him had no intention of refuting him. Instead, it was a confusing sentence. That man is really strong. Nani? Everyone looked confused. Don't know what's going on. It doesn't matter. Butterfly Ninja then stood up and smoothed out. Anyway, he has come here honestly, so we will consider the punishment later. But compared to this, I have some things to ask this little brother. Do you see clearly what breathing Mr. Yu uses, and the one he defeated 12 Ghost Moon? Besides, as a member of the ghost killing team, you took the ghost to perform missions together. I really want to hear your own explanation about this. Of course, your behavior violated the ghost killing team close black lens bracket the team rules. You should be clear about this in your heart. Tell me, Tanjiro, Zaoman. Chapter 206. A ghost who doesn't eat people. Facing the aggressive pillar in front of you. Tanjiro Zaoman knew that if he didn't tell the truth, he and his sister Nezuko will definitely die today. So the past and experiences of the two brothers were revealed. That ghost is my real sister. It was about 2 years ago, one day when I was not at home, ghost attacked my house. 203 inches, when I rushed back, I found that the whole family was dead. Although my sister has become a ghost since then, she has never eaten anyone. I haven't eaten it before, and I will never eat people in the future. Nezuko will never hurt anyone. Tanjiro Kaoru burst into tears and said that Nezuko would not eat people. And it can also help him protect humanity together. However, most of the columns present. But he didn't believe his ghost words at all. Stop talking such boring crazy words. Yihei Xiaobane, who was lying on the tree, swung his fingers disdainfully. He said with extreme disgust. She is your relative, of course you will find all kinds of excuses to protect her. So what you said is completely unbelievable. I will never believe it anyway. It turns out that he was possessed by ghost. The sad and mournful look on Yu Xingming looked compassionate. Putting your hands together and saying, then kill this poor child quickly and let him get rid of it. Seeing that everyone didn't listen to their defense at all, Tanjiro Zaoman was shocked. Struggling to kneel down, he said hoarsely, please listen to me. I joined the Demon Slayer and became a swordsman in order to cure Nezuko. It has been more than 2 years since Nezuko became a ghost, but she has never eaten anyone. Stay here. Umi Tianyuan rudely interrupted Tanjiro's confession. He said proudly, idiot, your words are just walking around in the cheesy place. Since you said she had never eaten anyone before, she would not eat people in the future, then let's prove it to us gorgeously. Tanjiro Zaoman was stunned when he heard this. Prove? What proof do I want to show you? Kill yourself. Then see if Nezuko will eat me. It's at this moment. Ganlu Temple Millie said with a shy face in her daily life. This has a problem. It is impossible for the Lord to be unaware of this matter. 3.9 Otherwise, he would not order these two people to be brought back to the headquarters. So, is it really okay for us to deal with their brothers without authorization? I think the final decision is to wait until the leader comes, then he will decide in person. Chapter 207. The leader appears. My sister. Tanjiro Zaoman shouted in panic. Please believe me, my sister can fight with me. She can also be a member of the Demon Slayer. Follow me, we fight to protect humanity, so. However, he hasn't finished speaking yet. He was directly interrupted by the late arrival of Fengju, Immortal Kawashimi. Hey, things seem to be starting to get interesting. I saw Mudaki Miya dragging the 04 box of Koki with Nezuko in one hand. He pointed at Tanjiro, who was kneeling on the ground with one hand, and said, is that idiot team member with ghost, is it him? What the hell is going on? Immortal River, please don't act without permission. Butterfly's smile gradually restrained. He looked at Mukui Kawami and said with some anger. The reason why she gets angry. It's not because of sympathy between Tanjiro, the siblings of the Sauceman. That tragic experience. And deep emotional bonds. But because of the guy who acted rudely on the other side. I always like to make no decisions by my lord. Just take action on your own initiative. It's very annoying. What did you say just now, little devil? Muteki Kawamiya directly ignored Butterfly Ninja's questioning. He looked at Tanjiro Kaoru with a ferocious face and continued. You said Ghost can be a member of Ghost Slayer to fight to protect humans. This is something. How could it be, you idiot? Puff. Almost as the words fell. Wudai Kawamiya pulled out Harak knife. It directly pierced the wooden box where Nezuko lived. Blood flowed out instantly. You dare to hurt my sister. No matter whether you are Pillar or anyone, you will definitely not be forgiven. Seeing this, Tanjiro Kaoru was furious. Even if your hands are tied up. Still jumping up. With a heavy note, the head hammer hit the opposite Kawashimi Miya. If you can't even distinguish between good ghost and bad ghost, I think you shouldn't be a Pillar. You boy. Facing the ridicule of Tanjiro Sasman. Immortal Kawashimi suddenly became furious. Grab the Hydroop knife on the ground. So I prepared to give the brother and sister the other side to get an idea. 203. But at this moment. The leader is here. The voices of the two white-haired girls suddenly rang. Then. Demon Killing Team Master Shikiya Yoya arrived in time. As the contemporary head of the Chanyashiki family. Yoya Shikiya keeps the family mission in mind. Continue to lead the Ghost Kill team. He pursued and fought with Gui Wuyun in a suicide style. Even if he is weak. Suffering from a serious illness. But he has both leadership temperament and broad heart. Talk calmly and gently. He is very polite to others. Deeply respected by the 9 pillars. Chapter 208 The Special Abilities of the Sayashiki Clan. And the curses plagued by. I can't fight at all. Even if you can't even swing your knife 10 times, you can't do it. The reason why it can drive strong people like Ju Pillar. It is not just a firm belief. There are 3 unparalleled abilities that are far beyond others. One of them. It was his breathtaking voice. The voice of Shikiya Yoya. It will always make the person who hears it relaxed and happy. It will cause a subconscious occurrence. It feels very comfortable when you are with him. Even listen to him. It will all give you a feeling of spring breeze. It makes people feel unconsciously floating. This is the natural powerful ability of the Sayashiki clan. In the original work. When Tanjiro Kawaman first met Yoyashiya. Then the other party said it in a few words and was willing to die. From this we can see. How powerful is this ability? And the second ability. It is accompanied by the Payashiki family for thousands of years. Similar to accurate intuition that can predict the future. It is precisely because of this keen intuition. The family of the ancestral house. Only by leading that demon-killing team countless times can we avoid the risk of annihilation of the entire army. And when he was discovered by Guiwu Ba, some clues about the ghost-killing team headquarters. It avoids all risks with extreme accuracy. As for the third ability. That is the means of power to win people's hearts. And the Sayashiki clan is born with intelligence and emotional intelligence far beyond Chongbo. It can even be said. The third point is that the family of the Sayashiki can successfully win over countless powerful people. The most critical factor in fighting with Ghost Dance for thousands of years. It is also the strongest method that contemporary owners of Yashikiya have. If you want others to stay loyal to you. First of all, you must have enough leadership temperament and power-making methods. At this point. It was fully demonstrated when I was born in Shikiya at 14. He was first at the age of 14. Save the Wildering Imperial Palace, who was almost sentenced to death because of his unjust sin. And he said the words to the man who was already desperate to remember for life. I believe that Xingming did not harm anyone. When Shizuya Shikiya is in a fragile situation, he needs the most, trust. Give him the most trust. After that, this brave man. So he joined the demon-killing team in order to repay his kindness. and become the rock pillar with the name of the strongest. When Yoshiaki Yasuya conquers other pillars, the same means were used. When Yumeshi Tianyuan needs the most, the good explanation of the theory. Give him understanding. And agree with Yuxi Tianyuan's concept. I think that even if he has conflicts and entanglements in his heart, but he is still willing to fight bloody to protect others. He is a trustworthy person. This has obtained the endless gratitude of Yuxi Tianyuan, and volunteered to become a member of the demon-killing team. Finally won the title of Sound Column Dragon. Chapter 209. Thank you for your hard work, children. And the Fengju Amoda Kawashimiya, who participated in the pillar meeting for the first time. Then he was arrogant and mistaken for the surrender of the house. But he used the swordsman of the ghost-killing team as a killer of ghost. A chess piece that can be abandoned at any time. So he speaks rudely. But Saya Shikiya Yoya did not anger or refute. Instead, he admitted his incompetence very frankly. Say that I want to fight like everyone else. But because of weakness. But I have the will but lack the strength. And he is like everyone else. Can be replaced at any time. 220 Last. Yaya Shikiya is still in pain for being in a loss of friendship. But Mushi Kawashimi, who was forced to attend the meeting, apologized. And the letter from the late friend of Mushi Kawashimi's death passed to him. This time, when Mudaki Kawashima needs sincere the most, showing his sincerity to him. Since then, ghost-killing team, the most unruly immortal Kawashimi, completely devoted to the birth of Shizuya Yoya. And soon after, he became the powerful wind pillar. And Yuya Shikiya once encouraged, rejected during a blind date. And the honey Lee of Ganlu Temple, which was greatly hit. And said to her, you want to do it for your own strong and proud. Don't care about the world's eyes. This time, when Saya Shikiya Yuya needed identification the most in Ganlu Temple, give her the best identification. And with this, he successfully transferred Love Pillar to Ghost Kill Team. Similarly, after Saya Shikiya Yoya recovered the seriously injured and lost his memory, Tomojiro, he has always been encouraged to live actively. Memory will definitely be restored. When Shi Toruo needs encouragement the most, give him the most sincere encouragement. And the latter, after joining AEDJ Ghost Killing Team, it only took 2 months. Then it became Shaju. That's right. This man can always be at the most appropriate time. Take what others want to hear the most. Tell it in a just right way of moistening things silently. It's unexpected. Then you will be impressed by Shikiya Yoya. In addition to the above 3 points, Yoya Shikiya still remembers the names and lives of each of the lost members of the demon-killing team. And he insisted on visiting the graves for these deceased people every day. This is why even those who are as strong as 9 pillars, I will be willing to give birth to the house. The main reason for not hesitating. The family of Sayashiki has accumulated over thousands of years. Not only do you have wealth, at the same time, it also has a business territory that is as rich as a country. Otherwise, the Sayashiki clan cannot support the daily expenses of a huge organization like the Ghost Killing Team. So, in the 9th pillar, even the entire members of the Ghost Killing Team are in their hearts. Yoyashiya is the absolute spiritual leader. Thank you all, my beloved children. Almost the moment when Saya Shikiya opened her mouth. Swish. 9 pillars all fell to their knees. Chapter 210. The awareness that should be. 9 top strong men. In the shocked and inexplicable eyes of Tanjiro Sasman. To the blind man opposite. Give me respectfully. Even the unruly immortal Kawashimi Tilda. All bowed their heads. Greetings from the heart. The leader is healthy, which makes me very happy, but please take care of yourself. Thank you, Shia. I'm sorry, before the Juke conference begins, can you please give me some explanation about the Kazuno Tanjiro teammate with Ghost? That's right. Saya Shikiya said with a clear expression. Sorry, this decision has disturbed everyone. I have accepted Tanjiro and his sister Nezuko. And I hope you can recognize them too. But even if the leader says that, I still find it hard to accept it. The first person to speak was to be the one who spoke. I also oppose it gorgeously. Yuxi Tianyuan followed and opposed. I will never approve of the members of the Ghost Slayer with Ghost. The others also had a look of agreeing with what the two said. Only Yoshio Tomuka remained silent. I follow the command of the leader. Millie in Ganlu Temple said with a red face to break the deadlock. Leader. Purgatory Apricot Saruo said loudly at this time. Although I respect you from the bottom of my heart, I can't understand this idea. I'm going to object. The responsibility of Ghost Killing Team is to kill Ghost. Mudaki Kawamiya spoke again. So I would also like to punish Tanjiro Sawaman and Yoshio Tomuka who deliberately shielded their brother and sister. Faced with opposition from everyone. The main room, Yoyashiki, ordered his two daughters to take out the souvenir of the original Shueiju Rakitaki Zoji. And he told me about the parts about Tanjiro, the siblings. The letter explains all the changes and experiences of Nezuko in the past 2 years. And make a commitment at the end. If Nezuko is hurting, the three of them will be cut and apologized for the apology. Tanjiro, who was pressed to the ground, heard the news. I was immediately moved and burst into tears. Only several pillars led by Immortal Kawashimi. But I didn't buy Lin Taki's account. Ignore the promises he made directly. So what about Septim? If you want to die, let him die by himself. What kind of guarantee is this? As Budikawa said right, when she really cannibalizes people, it will be too late. If you die, you will not be able to resurrect yourself. That's right. Shizuya Shikia nodded calmly and said. There is no guarantee that she will not attack people, and at the same time, she cannot give proof. But, the same way, it's impossible to prove that she will attack people. It is a fact that Nezuko has not eaten people for more than 2 years. There are 3 more people who are willing to guarantee Nezuko's lives. If you want to deny it, you must take more powerful actions. Do you have such awareness? Chapter 211 Verification. And Yiyashikia paused slightly. Then he continued. There is another extremely important thing, I want to tell you. Tanjiro Zaoman encountered the ghost dance. This statement comes out. Ju open black lens bracket Zu close black lens bracket, S face showed a look of extreme shock. What? Not 220. No one in the pillar has ever had contact with Gui Wuyu. He actually. Hey, little ghost, Gui Wusan, what does that guy look like, what abilities do you have? Where did you meet? Have you fought? What was Gui Wusan doing at that time? Have you found out his nest? Tell me quickly, you bastard, what ability does that guy have? Faced with several aggressive questions from pillars, Tanjiro Zaoman suddenly fell into a fog. However, at this moment, on the opposite platform, Yoyashikia gently raised his index finger in front of the gush. The originally noisy sound below. In an instant, there was silence. Ghost Wuyu sent someone to hunt Tanjiro down. In my opinion, this should be simply to seal off. This is the first time we Ghost Killing Team have caught the tail of Gui Wusan. I don't want to give up such an excellent opportunity. There may be a special change that even Gui Wusan did not expect. I hope you can understand my decision. After saying this from Shia Shikia Yoshia, most of the columns nodded to show acceptance. Because of this information, it really needs to be cherished. Only Amai Kawashimi, still stubbornly maintaining the previous thoughts. Chief, I'm sorry I can't obey. If it were humans, she could still let her go, but Ghost couldn't. For nearly 1,000 years, our Ghost Killing Team has been trying hard to fight that ghost with all his life, and has made extremely tragic and huge sacrifices. I can't recognize your decision no matter what. Speaking of this Zero, Immortal Kawamiya actually pulled out the high ring knife and cut his arm through. Blood dripped down. It all dripped on the wooden box where Nezuko lived. Immortal Kawashimi. He actually wanted to use his blood to lure Nezuko to do evil. He wants to prove to Shikia. Open black lens bracket ghost close black lens bracket is open black lens bracket ghost close black lens bracket. It is an ugly existence that should be killed. Hey, ghost, it's time to have a meal, come and bite me. Don't bear it anymore, expose your nature. I'll cut yours here 3.9. Oh, I seem to have forgotten that I can't experiment in the sun. If the sun is here, ghost will not dare to come out. It seemed like I had thought of something. After Mudaki Kawamiya apologized to Shikia. Then pick up the box. Jumped directly into the dark room. Chapter 212, a rare, non-eating ghost. Puff. While throwing the wooden box to the ground. In order to anger Nezuko inside, Mudaki Kawamiya. He actually stabbed the other party with the hydroop knife again. Stop, Nezuko. This scene made Tanjiro Zaoman become extremely angry again. But under the suppression of Yihei Shaoba. But he was unable to get up at all. I can only watch the situation continue to develop. Damn it, if only I could be as strong as that man. Nezuko won't be hurt like this. The angry Kawaman Tanjiro's mind. The figure of Yu-04 flashed. The other party's exaggerated skills. It left a very deep impression on him. Only. These are destined to be his wishful thinking. Inside the house. Hey, come out, ghost. This is your favorite human blood. Immortal Kawamiya stabbed a sword into the wooden box again. Then picked the box open directly. He released Nezuko, who had been suppressed for a long time. What's wrong, ghost? Come on, you're already very slanderous. Faced with the temptation of blood or. Nezuko tried hard to maintain her rationality. Controlling the hunger for blood. At the same time. She also recalled the past when she lived happily with her family. And the advice of Lundi Zoji. After some memories. Final. Nezuko actually successfully resisted the temptation of blood. Facing the blood of immortal Kawashima. Turn your head successfully. How's it going? Saya Shikia asked lightly. My daughter Rika replied truthfully. The girl who turned into a ghost turned her face to the side. She was stabbed 3 times in a row by Lord Mukuhara, and she could still hold back the bloody arm in front of her and didn't bite him. It seems that this should prove that Nezuko will not attack humans, right? Saya Shikia nodded with satisfaction and said. But I know even so, it should some people still don't recognize Nezuko. Quote. Tanjiro Zaoman, from now on, you must prove it. You and Nezuko are going to fight and contribute as members of the Demon Slayer. In the face of indisputable facts. Even though Immortal Kawamiya and Ihei Kobana were still reluctant to give up. But I had to do it for the time being. But the 220 Shikia only used a few words. He then obeyed Tanjiro Kaoru, cleaned up, the sauna. Thanksgiving kneeled on the ground. Go and defeat 12 ghost months so that you can gain everyone's recognition. What you say will be more weighty. Please rest assured. Tanjiro Kawaman kneeled in front of Shikia with respect on his face. Promise loudly. Nezuko and I will defeat Guiwu, which is miserable. Nezuko and I will definitely cut off the sad chain by swinging our swords and serve the Lord. Chapter 213 Doubts about Yiyu's identity. You guys can't do these things now. Saya Shikia Yoshia smiled and shook his head. Let's better aim to defeat it 12 ghost months first. Tanjiro Zaoman was immediately ashamed. And the other columns. They all laughed. All the pillars of Ghost Killing Team have outstanding talents. Yoyashiya continued to speak. And they also practiced hard in hell, countless times of birth and death. I have also defeated 12 ghost months. It is precisely because of this that pillar is respected by everyone and treated preferentially. Tanjiro, you must respect them too. Since your affairs have been finished, then let's go first. It's at this moment. Butterfly Ninja suddenly raised his hand and said. Lord, then send the stove door to me. In order to help Tanjiro Zaoman improve his strength. Butterfly Ninja actually offered to take care of the brother and sister at this time. Before leaving. The Shuna Shikia also asked Tanjiro of the sauce to say hello to Zushi on his behalf. Next. The important thing is that the pillar combination meeting officially begins. Inside the conference room. After everyone sits there. Yoyashiki Saya took the lead and said. As you said in your previous report, the number of casualties caused by Ghost has risen to an unprecedented number. The lives of ordinary people are under unprecedented threats. The number of members of Ghost Killing Team must also be increased. I want to hear what suggestions do you have. This Battle of Nation Spider Mountain made me clearly realize that the quality of the swordsman has dropped to an incredible level. Mudaki Kawamiya said truthfully. Almost all of them are useless garbage. In this regard, the responsibility of cultivating handsome men is the greatest. I can't even tell whether it can come in handy. If that's the case, that little guy just now would come in handy. Yuxi Tianyuan pinched his chin. Said like a teasing. He gave the immortal attack to the point of being a beautiful woman. It has great potential. The more people, the harder it is to command. Butterfly Ninja also spoke. The current era is very different from before. That's right. Wretched Yu Xingming nodded. The person who joined the team because the person he loved was killed, and his ancestors were Ghost Hunter for generations, and people with excellent fighting bloodlines. Those who are neither of them should let them have the same or even stronger awareness and fighting spirit as these people. Real. This kind of request is too cruel. After that. Purgatory Apricot Suzuro seemed to have thought of something. He said with anticipation. The man who rescued the Ghost Boy and other Ghost Killer members in Nation Spider Mountain and successfully eliminated the 12 Ghost Moons. Shen. Have the Lord found out his true identity? Chapter 214. Is he that strong? Mr. Yi Yu's identity is really mysterious. Butterfly Ninja seems to want to say something. But in the end, I held it back. This. Yoyashiki Saya shook his head slightly and said. Time is in a hurry. The ghost of the lower string made such a big noise again, and I haven't had time to meet that gentleman. I will make a conclusion about his affairs until I meet in person. However, through the Battle of Nation Spider Mountain, it can be basically confirmed that Guiwu Wusun is not near that area. For that man, as long as there is something he wants to hide, he will cause the horse to move and skillfully divert our attention. Although it's very impatient, the ghosts are now eating innocent humans and secretly accumulating strength for the ghost dance. To avenge those who die, there seems to be only one thing we can do now. I think the pillar that gathers here now is one of the most elite groups since the initial breathing swordsman in the Warring States period. Yuxi Tianyuan, Purgatory Atsuro, Butterfly Aedj Ninja, Miri, Torijima, Torijiro, I Hate Kobana, Saro, Irikazumi, Miyaki Kawa, Yoshio Temuka. My children, I'm looking forward to your ability. If possible, let us, in this era, completely defeat Guiwu dyingly. Board joining meeting. It finally ended in half an hour. But the 9 pillars present. But no one wanted to leave. There is no other reason. After hearing the description of Yi Yu's strength by Temuka Yoshiaki and Butterfly Ninja. All are against this powerful man who suddenly appeared in Nation Spider Mountain. Full of endless curiosity. Certainly. Like the two things like Immortal Kawashia and the wretched Ile Xingming. Stay here. It is to ensure the safety of the leader Yuya Yashikia. After all, the guy who can easily block Yoshio Tomokao and Butterfly Ninja attacks at the same time. And it's still unknown. If you have any malicious intentions towards Shikia, for the entire ghost killing team, all will be an irreversible huge blow. So, they have to be on guard. Mr. Temuka, that gentleman named Yi Yu, is he really as strong as you said? The honey glass of Ganlu Temple blinked her big green eyes. I am very excited about Yi Yu. It is different from the original intention of others to join the ghost killing team. Ganlu Temple Millie's marriage madman is real. In order to find a man stronger than himself, he took the initiative to join the ghost killing team. Now, after listening to the descriptions of Yi Yu's strength and appearance by Temuka Yoshio and Butterfly Ninja, even if you haven't seen each other yet, Then he was already full of infinite expectations for Yu. He is very strong. It is impossible to simply use the word, strong, to describe his strength. Chapter 215, A Man Who Loves Zhu Xinyi. If I really start, I'm definitely not his opponent. Yoshi Tomuka nodded with a serious expression. Then he added. It is very likely that there will be no chance to take action and he will be killed directly. Hiss. When everyone heard this, their faces changed again. Although Tomuka Yoshiyuki is not the strongest among the 9 pillars, but its strength is still at the forefront. In addition to the name of, the strongest, Ming, and Yuxi Tianyuan, the second strongest, no other pillar dares to say that he will definitely beat Tomokao Yoshihiro, the third tier of strength. But that's how it exists. He actually said that he would be killed instantly by Yu. Who dares to believe this? Wow, it's so awesome. Millie in Ganlu Temple was once again immersed in some unspeakable emotion. A man who can make Mr. Tomuka be such a sure thing. It's so suitable to be my man. I just don't know if he is married. But even if you get married, it doesn't matter. A strong man like this. I wouldn't mind sharing it with others. Clatter. Dada. Dada dada. Just when everyone was surprised, a heavy and powerful footsteps sounded from outside the room. Soon, the sound of Nakayashiki's Chiki came in outside the door. Sir, Mr. Yu is here. Come. The face of Juju pillar in the room suddenly showed different expressions. Have expectations. Be alert. Have doubts. Have a curiosity. Please come in with Mr. Yu. Saya Shikia said slowly as he stood up. This is his respect for the strong. Crazy. The wooden door was pulled open. Then a handsome person. Strong, straight, proud. Majestic. A young man with a strong sense of oppression all over his body walked in from outside. It was Yu. Wow, so handsome. It's him. The man he has been waiting for must be right. Millie from Ganlu Temple starts from the moment she sees Yu. Then he fell in love alone. Yu was in her eyes. It can be described as perfect. And it also perfectly coincides with the male god she has been fantasizing about in her mind. If it weren't for the presence of Saya Shikia Yoya, I'm afraid she has run over and proposes to Yu now. Mr. Yu, first of all, on behalf of the Sayashiki clan and all members of the ghost killing team, thank you for your generous move at Nada Spider Mountain. Wait for Yu to sit down. Yoyashiki Saya spoke first with a sincere expression. Listen to the righteous and bravery and torture. You want to meet me, but I don't know what advice you have. Chapter 216, A Life and Death Choice. I have to say, what Saya Shikia said is a bit self-inspired. Yu is clearly coming to Demon Killing Team headquarters. Sign in. I don't have half a penny when I see him. Relationship. Only. Don't hit people with a smile. For the other party's respectful attitude. Yu did not expose it. Just nodded lightly. I won't say anything about the guest, 220, condom and greetings, but I'd better explain my purpose directly. I am the emperor from the adjacent country, Dragon Empire. Nani? Just this sentence. Yeha will all the people in the venue, including Shizuya Shikia Yoya. All were shocked. This powerful man in front of him. It turned out to be the king. Ah no. According to his words, he should be called the emperor. But everyone became confused immediately. Why did they live for so long? Have you never heard of the name of the country, Dragon Empire? Yu ignored everyone in shock. Continue to say downwards. Don't be confused. It's normal that you haven't heard of the Dragon Empire before. Because, the world where I was originally located exists in 2 different latitudes from your world. Boom. Saya Shikia and others. Once again, I was deeply shocked by Yu's words. That world. 2 different latitudes. What is this man talking about? If it weren't for confirmation that Yu wasn't like a man who could talk crazy. Now, Yoyashiya and Kyuji are likely to regard him as a lunatic. After all, for them, People who are focused on chasing ghost dance are just for slaughtering and dream. Suddenly I heard that there is another world. It's even more bizarre than a fantasy. And for Yi Yu, he had never thought about hiding these facts. Regardless of whether these people from Ghost Killing Team can accept zero. He doesn't care. Because if these people cannot accept and resist, he will take action without any mercy. Eliminate them all. A weak country has no diplomacy. Sometimes the survival regulations of this world are so cruel. Facing the low-end world, Yi Yu doesn't need so many concerns. There is no need to find any excuses that everyone can accept. Everything is straightforward. Recipient, life. Those who disobey will die. No other choice. Yi Yu still ignored everyone in surprise. Continue to say downwards. The enchantment connecting these two worlds will automatically open 3.9 in 3 months. At that time, I will lead troops to occupy all countries in this world and include them all in the territory of the Dragon Empire. Before this, I really want to listen to the Ghost Killing Team with the highest combat power in the world. What choice will be made in this matter? Chapter 217 The Sensible Childbirth. After saying that, Yi Yu stared at the opposite Shikia with interest, waiting for the answer given by the other party. And what he said. No surprise. It once again caused the shock of everyone in the house. Even the most arrogant immortal Kawashimiya is among the 9 pillars. At this moment, I was a little surprised by Yi Yu's words just now. This young man with extraordinary temperament opposite him actually owned the grand ambition to annex the entire world. Although Yoyashikiya was blind, but he still used those 04, rolling his eyes. He looked at Yi Yu deeply. He knows. The powerful man opposite was not kidding. Although it is not clear how powerful Yi Yu is. But one thing is undeniable. No matter how powerful the Ghost Killing Team is, 9th pillar, no matter how powerful it is, none of them can be compared with the army of a country. Even if it's Ghost Dance, it's not possible otherwise. With the strength of Ghost Dance, Wushao, I'm afraid I've ruled the world for this 1,000 years. A trace of helplessness arises in my heart. Shikia thought about it. Then he spoke with a calm expression. Mr. Yi Yu must have been overthinking. The existence of the Sayashiki clan and the entire Ghost Killing Team has only one purpose for thousands of years. That is to eliminate Gui Wu, Wusun. Apart from that, we never pass through anything that is incarnation. No matter who the king of this country is or who the emperor is, we will abide by the rules and laws set by him. There will be no crossover. What Yuyasaya said almost directly expressed his attitude to Yi Yu with the Demon Slayer. That is, we just kill ghosts. Will not participate in the war between your countries. We won't ask. And we will also abide by the rules set by the winner. So, please don't affect us when you fight. Yi Yu was very satisfied with Yoyaki Yoya's answer. Seeing this is the person who understands it. Be sensible. Very good. Yi Yu nodded with satisfaction. Then he spoke. If this happens, then the next problem will be much easier. 220. As long as the people of this world are all mine in the near future, people, then I have absolutely no chance, and I will continue to let Ghost Wusun and 12 Ghost Moons harm them. Because in our Dragon Empire, the law-abiding people are conservative by our king and the entire Imperial Legion. So, after the enchantment is opened, I will send someone to help you get rid of Guiwu Wushao. Before this, you Ghost Killing Team just need to find out whereabouts of the Infinite City where he lives. Chapter 218 Feng Zhu is furious. As soon as this is said, everyone in the house includes Yoyashiya and Yoyaku, sinking into deep shock again. This man. He actually said that he would send someone to solve Gui Wu's defeat. We heard it right. If that guy was really so casual, he could kill him. We Ghost Killing Team have been entangled with him for nearly 1,000 years. Besides, what does it mean that we just need to find out where Guiwu lives? Who do you look down on? Aftershock. It's endless anger. The hottest temper of Ikukawamiya. The first one jumped out and asked. Hey, bastard, are you looking down on us ghost-killing team? It was already suspicious that you suddenly jumped out and said you wanted to see the leader, but now you dare to say such arrogant words. If Gui Wui Wuzang is so easy to deal with, then will our ghost-killing team spend nearly 1,000 years to fight him? That's right. Purgatory Apricot Sururo also said loudly. The strength of winding in 12 ghost moons alone is already unimaginable. Not to mention the strength of Ghost King Gui Wuyu Wusun. Although we ghost-killing team will not interfere in the incarnation, we also ask you laymen who don't even have breathing method and sun knife don't interfere in our battlefield at will. Quote. One by one, a series of powerful counterattacks. Show off your determination and aura of pillar. Looking at the entire Demon Slayer world. No one has ever been. Dare to speak to them like this. Only. These fell in Yiyu's eyes. But nothing counts. Although unintentionally angered these people. But he had no tactful intention. A faint curve swept across the corners. Yiyu said calmly. I think you might have misunderstood. I'm not ignoring the achievements of your ghost-killing team and the combat power of your pillars. I just told the truth, that is. Compared with our divine general of the Dragon Empire, no even the officers at the next level, you have no chance of winning. After all, you guys are so weak. Maybe you can finally defeat Guiwu Wushao through hard work and sacrifice. But the ending will be a situation where both sides suffer losses, that is to say you will all die. At this time, Yiyu suddenly turned to the opposite side of the real Shikiya Yoya. He continued with a little approval. I know you are not afraid of death and are brave, but for me, such a move is undoubtedly a waste of time. Bang! Just as Yiyu finished speaking, the undead Kawashimi, who had already felt furious, suddenly started to rise. Investiture at Yiyu. Chapter 219 The Wind Breath. This arrogant guy. He actually dared to speak to his lord like this. It's really damn. Open black lens bracket wind breathing 2 type katakana middle dot claw katakana middle dot kodo fung close black lens bracket. The green, sun-slashing sword slashed towards him. 4 beast claw-shaped wind blades whizzed out. He rushed towards Yiyu. Shimi, stop. A look of panic suddenly appeared on Yoyashiki Saya's face. I thought to myself that it was not good. If Yiyu really angered the family of the Payashiki who has been passed down for thousands of years, and the entire ghost-killing team, all will no longer exist. The other pillars also showed different expressions on the 220s on their faces. Butterfly Ninja and Ganlu Temple Millie's face. He showed a worried look. Even if they don't know why they are worried about this man who has only met once. Perhaps for all women. Looks better than anything else. And Yoshiaki Tomuka's expression was instantly solemn. He knows. Immortal Kawashimi is asking for trouble. But at the same time. But he also wanted to take a look. How powerful is Yiyu's strength? As for the others, they all showed a look of watching the show and gloating. In their opinion, Yiyu is simply a pretender who deserves a beating. But no one noticed Yiyu's horn. The moment when Mudaki Kawashima took action. He hooked up slightly. It is also time for the strong people in this world. See what it means to be truly powerful. Open black lens bracket breath of the wind 2 type, claw, and Kodo style was originally a speed type attack move. Now it was another full strength attack from Mudaki Kawashima. The power is even more terrifying. Wherever the 4 claw-shaped wind blades pass, the air seemed to be torn apart. Above the ground, AEDJ. The wooden floor was torn open 4 ravines. I dare to be so arrogant and arrogant in front of the Lord. Today I will let you know how powerful our ghost-killing team is. The immortal river is like a hurricane passing through the border. Not quite a spacious space. This shocking blow was used. I think you are the ones who are really arrogant, right? The smile on Yiyu's face became stronger and stronger. Faced with an astonishing attack, he didn't even have the idea to get up. Still sitting in place. Said lightly. But this is good, so you guys who are self-righteous will delay our actions in the future. Today, I will make an exception to show my strength. Yi Yu made an exception. It's because, if under normal circumstances, someone dared to attack him, then the result will inevitably be a ruthless kill. But now, Yi Yu's purpose is just to shock the ghost-killing team. After all, he also needs to rely on this group of people to plague Guiwusan's whereabouts. Chapter 220 Spitting Blade with Your Mouth. If they were killed now, it will become very difficult to find Ghost Dance. The most important thing is that it will waste a lot of time. Even the weakest country. It also takes a certain amount of time to complete the delivery. Yi Yu is not in the mood. So much time wasted here. The Sayashiki clan and the ghost-killing team. He has been fighting with Guiwusan for nearly 1,000 years. Very experienced. At this time. Undoubtedly the best helper. And including Yoyashiya. And the other 9 pillars. Almost all of them have a lot of grudges and blood feuds with Guiwusan. Of course there will be no slack. So, under these various conditions, even if Ibudashi Kawashimiya's actions were full of offense, Yi Yu was not ready to kill him either. But, it is still necessary to teach a lesson and humiliate it. Call. Face attack. Yi Yu seemed to be ordinary and spit out a turbid air casually. But it was in the astonished eyes of everyone. It instantly turned into countless wind blades. Nani? The oncoming moody Kawamiya was shocked when she saw this. Blood-scattered eyes. It also contracted. As a berserker, Mushi Kawashimiya have an extraordinary combat intuition. Just the moment Yi Yu exhaled, he then keenly realized the terrifying murderous intent. The whole person's nerves tense instantly. The previous anger in my heart also turned directly into vigilance. Mudaki Kawamiya never expected it. The strength of the young man opposite. It's actually so powerful. Breathe casually. It can be transformed into countless powerful wind blades comparable to slashes. Stop immediately. Instead of advancing, retreating. Open black lens bracket wind breathing katakana middle dot woos type katakana middle dot cold autumn fallen mountain wind close black lens bracket. The hero knife in the hands of immortal Kawashima is flying back and forth. A huge wind blade that kept spinning around him suddenly appeared. Boom boom boom. The wind blade collided violently. An extremely violent terrifying wind pressure suddenly erupted in the room. Protect the Lord. Wu Ming Yu Xingming and Yushi Tianyuan reacted first. The body flashed out. He directly blocked the front of Yoya Shikiya and his 2 daughters. Block all the stormy wind. And Shi-Tu Wuiro, the weakest among the 9 pillars. Under such a strong wind, he was blown away directly. That man is really strong. Millie of Ganlu Temple reached out to block the wind coming towards her. But a pair of beautiful eyes. But he stared at Yi Yu, who was always smiling calmly on his face. That's so much like it. She can do it now. This man in front of you. It's the man she's always wanted to find. And on the faces of the other pillar. They also showed a look of shock. The strength of immortal Kawashimiya. Although it is not the strongest in ghost-killing team. But it is also among the top. Mouth. Chapter 221 The wind pillar was instantly. However, immortal Kawamiya just had a full blow when she suddenly started. In fact, Yi Yu accidentally knocked a wind blade. Then he almost fell into a desperate situation. I had to temporarily turn off attack to defense. Such changes. It really shocked everyone. They now fully believe what Tomuka Yoshioka and Butterfly Ninja said before. This man, 220. Really strong. No. Perhaps it should be said to be unusually powerful. Just when everyone was surprised. Bang. With a loud bang. Everyone did not see Yi Yu on the other side, making any moves. But immortal Kawamiya was directly bombarded out. Even the sun sword with a faint green light in his hand as followed the bang broke. It seemed like it had been hit hard. What's going on? I obviously didn't see that man taking action. Yes, I didn't see him doing anything, but how could that guy Butikawa be knocked out? Even the rider knife was broken. This is not something that ordinary power can do. Can't that man speed beneath the limit that our eyes can capture? It's so scary. If that's the case, I'm afraid that people who don't open the transparent world will not be able to fight him. Even immortal Chuan, who has a very sensitive sense of fighting, was defeated in one blow. The strength of this Dragon Empire Emperor is a little too powerful. But with his help, maybe we can really kill Gui Wuwusan. Yes, I think what he just said is very likely to be realized. Quote. Butterfly Nin looked speechlessly and smashed into the walls of the courtyard. The undead Kawashimiya was in a coma. I really don't know what to say. She and Yoshio Temuka were obviously at the beginning of their return. Then he explained to everyone the horror of Wanyeyu's strength 0. But this guy with a brain problem. But he wants to take the initiative to send abuse. And Butterfly knew very well. This is not Yi Yu's full strength at all. The man who always had a calm smile on his face. The strength is unfathomable. Not killed instantly on the spot. It's already considered that immortal Kawamiya is lucky enough. Otherwise, the blow that was so fast that it was impossible to capture just now. It will definitely kill him. Hope this irritable guy. In the future, he can restrain his hot temper. It can be considered as a 3.9 training. Ahem. The Sanyashi Yoya, who was protected by Yu Ming and Yu Shi Tianyuan, suddenly coughed twice. Break the silence of the scene. He bowed solemnly toward Yi Yu's direction. Thanks to Mr. Yi Yu for your support. My subordinates were offended just now, so please forgive me. Chapter 222 Logistics Quartermaster. I will punish this reckless guy afterwards and promise that ghost killing team will not offend Mr. As for the instructions you just mentioned, our family of the Yoshiki clan and the entire ghost killing team will do their best. The existence of the Sayashiki clan and the existence of the ghost killing team were originally intended to end the ghost dance. Now with the help of Mr. Yi Yu and the Dragon Empire, I believe that the ghost dance will be completely ended at this time. This is undoubtedly a great kindness for us, the family of Bayashiki. So, please rest assured Mr. Yi Yu, our ghost killing team will complete the tasks you assigned within the date of your return. What a comment from Shia Shikia Yoya. Yi Yu was blind to this person again. At the same time, the weak man felt impressed. On the ability to figure out people's hearts. Yoyashiya, who is only 23 years old this year. It can be said that it has almost done the best. He is really a very sensible person. Yi Yu has even begun to think about it. After the Dragon Empire unifies this Demon Slayer world. Should I let Shikia help him manage it? But these are all later. Even though I have already said it thoroughly. Then Yi Yu now has no need to waste time staying in this world. After all. Open from the outside, enchantment. There are nearly 3 months left. Yi Yu is going to go back to Pirate World to take a look. Are there any other, alternative worlds? It also, invaded. So make preparations and arrangements in advance. Okay, I'm looking forward to the next cooperation. Yi Yu slowly stood up. Then he took out a phone bug from his arms and placed it on the floor. Said to Shikia Yoshia. This is phone bug. After you find Guiwusan's trace, you can use it to communicate with me. After I go back this time, I will ask my subordinates to make a systematic assessment to determine the manpower needed to kill Guiwuwuyu. Then I will notify you in advance with phone bug. You need to create some hidden knife for my men in advance to kill Ghost. Yi Yu already regarded Yoyashikia as his junket officer. After all 220. The law of this world is that you need to use the Hydroop sword to successfully kill the ghost. So Yi Yu had to follow such rules. Immediately. Yi Yu didn't care whether he gave birth to Shikia Yoshia agreed. Then he was in the astonished eyes of everyone. His figure rose into the air. flying towards the direction of Nation Spider Mountain where the travel gate is located. Butterfly Ninja, that man can fly. Millie in Ganlu Temple, wow, Night Lord, you actually flew up. He is so handsome. Don't leave, husband. Chapter 223. The next string gathers together. Yoshiaki Temuka, is this his real ability? Why do you feel that there are still many secrets on him that have not been revealed? Yihei Xiaoban, it seems that he does have arrogant capital. Purgatory Atsuro, I really hope to compete with him personally. It seems that in addition to the ghost-killing team, there are many powerful guys in this world. Tomorrow, I seem to be blown away just now, but what's the man's name? Yuxi Tianyuan, it's really a gorgeous way to leave. That man has at least been recognized by me. Wretched Yu Xingming, if he can really kill Gui Wu, it will be a good thing for us ghost-killing team. Although Yoyashiki Saya said nothing. But my heart had already fallen into unprecedented excitement. The curse that has troubled nearly 1,000 of the Sayashi family. And the never-ending fight with Guiwuwuya. Finally in his generation. Is it completely over? However, just prepare for the battle in Demon Killing Team. Yi Yu returns to Pirate World. Another killing. It is staged in the Infinite City that Yi Yu and others are looking for. And the protagonist. Then it is the ghost dance that is not miserable. Ha ha. Accompanied by a shocking sound of the pipa strings. It was originally located everywhere. 5 of the 12 ghost months slower string. It was actually in the same voice. He was suddenly teleported into a city that looked a little confused. Thisfut is this place. The first time I entered the lower of the lower string cauldron in Infinite City. Looking at the special space in front of you that is completely reversed by up, down, left and right. I was shocked so much that I was extremely shocked. This is his first time in Infinite City. So, I don't know the situation inside at all. And the expressions on the other 4 Shaoshan faces. It's almost the same as him. Is it that woman's virus technique? The kettle looked around. Soon at the end of sight. I saw a person with long black hair. And the female ghost who covered her eyes with a flowing sea. The shocking sound of the pipa just now. It was the sound from the lute in her arms. It was also the moment when the sound came out. They will only get from the original space. It appeared directly here. After looking at the cauldron for a while. He murmured to himself with lingering fear. The empty, lost rooms around seemed to be centered on her, and a strange twist was produced with the sound of the pipa. Vergation technique that can have this ability. I guess she should be someone in winding. It's just Shen. The cauldron looked at the Shaoshan who were summoned into Infinite City again. Suddenly, a little bad premonition arose in my heart. Chapter 224. Women's clothing is not miserable. Apart from that woman, it seems that only Shaoshan in 12 ghost moons were all summoned to the crowd. This is the first time this happens. What the hell happened? But why the understrings did not appear? Isn't that little devil the most respected by that adult? However, just when the cauldron and several other people, Shaoshan, were full of doubts. That shocking sound of the pipa. But it suddenly rang again. Ha ha. But this time, accompanied by the sound of the pipa. Originally scattered in different areas. Slower strings in different angles. It actually appeared on 220 of the same platform in an instant. Ah, this is. We actually moved with that sound again. Is it vampire technique again? It's so misleading. Is that woman playing with us? Just as the 4 AEDJ names ceiling string are looking around. Only the nightmare, who is one of the lower string, stared at the front without turning around. There was also a look of fear on his face. There is now a man standing with his eyes red. An adult woman with delicate face. Only. Judging from the horror aura emitted by that woman. It's definitely not easy. Ah. Soon. The other 4 Shaoshan also discovered the existence of the woman opposite. Hey, what's going on with this woman? Who is it? Why did she show up here? But they haven't waited for anything to move. For the delicate-faced woman. But with an irresistible, a familiar voice that shocked them said, "Everyone kneels down. Don't look up." A simple two-person speech. But it made the 5 slower string feel like they were struck by lightning. That woman. A man was sent out the sound. And it is the voice of Lord Gui Wuyan, who was once given the ability to them. An unparalleled sense of oppression came instantly. The 5 people almost thoughtlessly. At the same time. Kneel down respectfully on both knees. And bury your head deep on the floor. I dare not disobey that man's will at all. It's Lord Wusong. This is definitely the voice of Lord Wusong. But why didn't you recognize it at all in terms of appearance? No, it should be said that both appearance and aura are completely different from the previous one. Is this the incredible disguise ability of Lord Wusun? The cauldron is lowered. Cold sweat kept falling down from his forehead. For him. Every time I see Ghost dance, I am not miserable. They will be shocked by the other party's powerful power and doubt their lives. But today. But he didn't know why. My heart was filled with uneasiness. Chapter 225 Mind Reading Skills. No, I'm very sorry. A head full of white hair and 2 horns of the forehead, secret string, has 0 children. There was a look of panic and horror on his face. He looked up and defended. Mr. Wusun, your appearance and breath are completely different from the past, so I. However, Ling Yuzi's words have not been finished yet. He was interrupted roughly by Gui Wusun on the opposite side. Who allowed you to speak? You are not allowed to say those boring thoughts, Tilda. All you have to do is answer my questions. Gui Wusun's eyes were not at all pity. He snorted coldly with expressionless face. I was killed when I was exhausted. He is the second army. And I will only ask one question today. That's why your ghosts, Shaoshan, are so weak. Don't you know that becoming 12 ghost months is not your end, but a brand new starting point? It's like you can eat more people and become stronger, which is a new starting point for me. And in the past century, the winding of 12 ghost month has almost never changed much. The one who killed Pillar and Ghost Hunter has always been the ghosts who dwindled. But what about ceiling? How many times have the candidate been replaced? Gui Wusun's words are like sharp daggers. It deeply pierced the hearts of the 5 Shaoshan who were kneeling on the ground. I'm so tired. Let Gui Wuyun deeply realize the weakness of Shaoshan strength. In his eyes, weakness and incompetence are equated. So, even if you tell us something like this, the cauldron of the lower string has just had a trace of thought in my mind. It is still time to develop downward. Then he was directly told by Gui Wuya on the opposite side. Open black lens bracket even if you tell us this kind of thing. What's wrong? You keep talking. Gui Wusun's bloody red eyes showed murderous intent. The cauldron opposite was so scared that his face was bloodless. My whole body couldn't help but tremble. Can you read your Mindo? I just realized that something was wrong. It's not time to defend. Then he was, exposure, by Gui Wusun on the opposite side again. Why is it bad? You said it. As the words fell. The ghost dance is not miserable or the arms suddenly expand. In the blink of an eye. Then a strange arm formed with bloody red blood meat and countless eyes. Carry the pot into the air. Please let me do this time, Lord Guiwu. Please spare your life. I'm very sorry, I'm really sorry. However, what awaits him is ruthless strangulation and erosion. Mouth.